Brooke here, and today I am doing a book review. And the first book that I will be reviewing on my channel is none other than Keeper, which is written by Kim Chance. If anyone's familiar with AuthorTube, I'm sure that you are familiar with Kim Chance, who is a wonderful author and writer who has her own YouTube channel. She's a darling dear, and she's so sweet, so fun. Kim's first book, which is called Keeper, that I will be reviewing for you all today, comes out January 30th, 2018. I will have below the pre-order for Keeper, so that way you can go ahead and get it before it comes out. And if you haven't heard what Keeper is about, then let me go ahead and tell you, I am starting the book review now. Keeper is about a young girl named Lainey Stiles, who I believe is about 16 or 17, and she lives in a small town in Georgia where she is all about getting straight A's, she is all about doing good on the SAT. She is a definite Ravenclaw, that's for sure. And she lives with her Uncle Gareth, who has always been there for her ever since her parents had died whenever she was really young. And her best friend is named Maggie, who is an awesome chick, who is a nerd, and I love it. She also runs into a guy who seems a little bit on the curious side. So that is the normalcy of what is Lainey Stiles' life. She is just a very down-to-earth, low-key girl. One day, after going with her friend Maggie to a comic book store event type thing, she sees a ghost. She sees a woman who is in kind of old-timey clothing, who has blood on her clothes, and no one else can see her besides Lainey, and Lainey is confused and is concerned of what is going on. After seeing this ghost for the first time, she doesn't know what to do, what's going on, and she starts seeing it more and more often until lots more peculiar supernatural things occur. And honestly, I think that's all I'm gonna say. I think I'm just gonna leave it there. I liked this book a lot. It was a lot of fun to have the paranormal southern town type feel to it, and it was great to see a best friend that was very much an integral part of the plot. Sometimes the best friends are left behind and are very, very rarely mentioned throughout the rest of the book. But Maggie is definitely there to stay, and I love that she is there to stay. She's a lot of fun and is a great companion to Lainey whenever she's going through all this mayhem. There were a couple tropey things that were kind of stereotypical occurrences that I was just kind of like, that's fine. It's kind of predictable, but it's fine. Even though the tropes were there, it was still very well written, very well handled. I love Maggie and her comic book references, but comic book references mixed in with pop culture references, it was just kind of all too much. It's like whenever you see some funny pop culture reference, it's fun, it's funny, you get a laugh, and then the more references that you see, it starts to be less funny. I could be alone in this, I don't know. I thought it was just a little too much. I did think Ty, the love interest for Lainey, I just thought he was lacking a little bit. He just seemed a little one-dimensional, once again tropey, and the stereotypical hot guy that is new to school and is new to the young adult protagonist's life. There was a little bit of backstory with him. It just wasn't enough to go ahead and make him a more full-rounded character. Just wish there was a little bit more to him, but I think we will definitely get more answers in the next following book. I really liked Lainey. I liked the experiences that she had in this book. There were a couple of creepy things that I was just like, oh, that's cool. I hadn't seen something like that before. I feel like that we don't get as many paranormal type books anymore. I feel like we had a whole lot of that whenever the Twilight era was out, and so just I guess publishing publishing houses have just kind of gotten tired of publishing that type of material because people I guess got burned out of it. But I'm glad Kim Chance has brought paranormal books and supernatural books back into YA, and I think I'm gonna give it a solid 3.5. I guess you can't call it a solid 3.5 because it's not a solid number, but yeah, 3.5. And so, since I have talked about all I can non-spoilery, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the spoilery parts of Keeper. So I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. 3, 2, 1, bye, bye, bye. If you have not read Keeper, you've been warned. We're talking about it. I was really excited to read about Josephine, the ghost that Lainey kept seeing. I keep wanting to say Kim, but the ghost that Lainey kept seeing. I was excited to see that her name was on the page, and that I was like, yes, okay, Josephine's here. What else are we gonna find about her past? I loved the history with her family, the Ducarmonts, I think that's how you want to say it, the Ducarmont family, and wanting to keep the grimoire away from the master. I also thought it was very tragic of how the master had actually killed Josephine's love, who was, I think his name was Henry. I thought that was so sad that he killed him in front of her, and it was so sad later on after Josephine had had her baby that the master was tearing everything down in the tent village and brought Henry back to life. And Henry was bad. He was one of the master's guards. And it was horrible because Josephine was pretty much forced to kill Henry, her love, and had to deal with that all over again. So that was really sad and tragic. And I bring that part up because I thought it was really good of how Kim used that to kind of foreshadow what was to happen with Gareth at the very end of the book with the master and Lainey. And Lainey had to kill Gareth in order to keep the grimoire safe. And I really liked how Maggie was used kind of as a, she had said as Mystique to kind of look like it was Lainey and to go into the ballroom scene so that way they would be able to try and have Lainey be talking with the Hyteria, I think that's what they're called. But of course it fell through and the master caught on to things and knew that Maggie was not Lainey of who he was searching for. And it revealed that Ty was a bad guy. He's part of the guard and one of the master's men, and he had the little M tattoo on his chest. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I was mad when that happened. And Kim left that on a cliffhanger. We don't know the story of why Ty is part of the guard. We don't know if he's a bad guy or a good guy. I'm thinking he's probably gonna be a good guy. Some explanation's gonna be as to why he was doing that. But so far, Lainey hates him, and she has very much good reason for it, because if it wasn't for Ty being bad, then maybe Gareth would still be alive. And so anyway, that was frustrating. Freaking Ty. I am so excited, and I thought it was brilliant that Kim made Maggie have supernatural powers, like being a werewolf. I thought that was so perfect because Maggie is definitely all about the comic book world scene and definitely about superheroes. So now it's kind of like she is a superhero of her own, and she will get to master that and have fun with that. And it was so funny because I was like, oh, I bet Maggie is not gonna be sad that she's gonna be a werewolf. She's gonna be excited, and she was, and it was so funny. She was like, yes, this is amazing. It was so great. I really liked the part, going back here, I really liked the part where Lainey's eyes changed color at the kind of more the beginning, middle-ish part of the book. Her eyes had changed, I think, from like a hazel brown to a green, a very vibrant green. It'd be like, whoo, something crazy is coming and happening. Huh. It was a little annoying whenever Maggie was in front of the master in the ballroom as Lainey, and then Lainey was in the crowd and they had said that she had pushed herself almost clear to the front, almost. Why would you do that? Maggie is right there as you, and people are gonna be like, oh, well, that looks like her too, in the same dress, same everything. It's like, why would you get so close? The master's gonna be like, oh wait, that's her right there. I don't need this chick. Is that just me? Probably, I don't know. Don't you think you're gonna get caught, Lainey? I know that you're really scared for your friend's life, but you're probably gonna get both of yourself in trouble if you are almost revealing that there's double of you. Vent over, sorry. I'm glad at the end that Lainey got to see her family members. She got to see Gareth, her mom and her dad. I'm assuming her dad was there too. I was really happy that Lainey got to see that her family was okay. It was kind of a good way for her to be able to feel better about Gareth's passing. I mean, she didn't feel better that he died, but it just made her feel more at ease. And it was really great because we had this whole time been hearing and seeing that magic leaves a mark. And I didn't know why that kept being a thing in the book until the very ending, whenever Lainey gets a green tattoo of kind of the amulet pendant that held the grimoire. Because Jo had explained that her mom had made it to where the grimoire was kind of in Lainey, that she was the grimoire, and that they had to keep her safe because of that. So then the tattoo kind of represented that she had it with her, and it had been there for the entire time. So that will be an interesting way of going to the next book. I'm excited to see what Kim has rolled up her sleeve and to see what all Lainey and Maggie do to try and stop the master, and to maybe come face to face with Ty and ask him, what the crap did you do? But yeah, that was my review for Keeper. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys will go ahead and pick it up either before the 30th or after the 30th. Once again, the pre-order link is down below. If you feel like chit-chatting outside of YouTube, you can go ahead and follow me on my social media accounts. I am on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you all so much for stopping by. I will see you next time. Bye!